Dark Horse just announced 3 new upcoming deluxe hardcover manga for 2026, so you know we gotta talk about all of them. This morning definitely felt like Christmas came early because Dark Horse dropped the announcement for not just 1, not even just 2, but 3 new deluxe edition hardcovers they'll be releasing next year in 2026, all focused around the work of Shirow Masamune, who you might be familiar with from the franchise Ghost in the Shell, but this is focusing mostly on Appleseed, probably Masamune's second most well-known work, which was published by Dark Horse in the past, but has gone long out of print. But not just are we getting an Appleseed Deluxe Edition, but also a Deluxe Edition companion for Appleseed. And the third book, the one that I'm probably most excited about, is a anthology of his other works that Dark Horse had published in the past. So they first teased this really obviously a couple days ago this week with a video on like Instagram and stuff where they put a lineup of all their hardcover editions, and then at the end they put an Apple emoji and a question mark, like what's next, Apple? And if that wasn't obvious enough, the text on the posts also said something around the lines of like, we're planting the seed for new deluxe editions in 2026. So Appleseed, 2 + 2 is 4. It's painfully obvious, I guess, at least if you know what Appleseed is, if you're familiar with Appleseed, it's painfully obvious. But there were some pretty wild guesses in the comment sections of their social posts. And I did talk to my buddy Will, who is the social media and like PR guy over at Dark Horse, and he's known online as Fire Lunar. You may be familiar with him, but after the announcement, I asked him about the teaser, and he said, oh yeah, it was meant to be purposefully obvious what it was because I wanted to, or he wanted to surprise people even more so with the fact that it was not just Appleseed, but also the companion and the anthology from Masamune. And I think it worked because I was surprised and even more excited about it, and I saw a lot of people online who had similar reactions. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and read through the blog posts that they made about this. I'm gonna give you all the relevant information that they've shared about these releases, and then I'll give you a little bit more information about these as well. Shirow Masamune's stories received 3-book deluxe edition treatment from Dark Horse Manga. Dark Horse Manga presents Shirow Masamune's classics in a 3-book deluxe edition manga series starting with Appleseed Deluxe Edition. The series will also include Appleseed Companion Deluxe Edition, collecting Appleseed Hypernotes and Appleseed ID. I will detail what those are a little bit later in the video. And additional works by Shirow within the Shirow Masamune Anthology Deluxe Edition, collecting Black Magic, Orion, Dominion, and Dominion Conflict 1, No More Noise. And I will also give some information about those in a little bit. Translated by Dana Lewis, Torrin Smith, and Dwayne Johnson, lettered by Tom Orzechowski, L. Lois Bruhalis, John Clark, and Sasquatch. The Appleseed Deluxe Edition collects books 1 through 4 of Appleseed. The books themselves are subtitled Promethean Challenge, Prometheus Unbound, The Scales of Prometheus, and The Promethean Balance, and will feature wraparound 7-color artwork cover, metallic edge gilded pages, and 4-color end sheets, along with a sewn-in bookmark. So the gilded pages, I don't know if they mean gilded literally, that it'll be like gold colored to match the coloring of the Shirow Masamune stamp on the cover that they've revealed, or if it'll be colored to match the spine. So in the case of Appleseed, the main volume, that would be blue, for the companion black, and then for the anthology red. So we'll see probably pretty soon what the plan is for that. This new deluxe edition collection will be available starting in August 2026, and it's recommended that fans and retailers pre-order now to secure copies. Dates and additional details for the companion and anthology deluxe editions will be provided soon. And then their description of the story for the Appleseed Deluxe Edition: the year is 2127 in the aftermath of a devastating global war. Dunen and Briareos are just the kind of couple you'd find managing to survive. She's a former SWAT team member, he's a cyborg former mercenary. Both of them are found in the ruins by Hitomi, a young woman who recruits them to work for Olympus, an ultra-advanced experimental city-state that survived the apocalypse. It's an oasis of peace that now seeks to step outside its protected zone to try to reconstruct the world, but to do so, its philosophers, planners, and scientists will need the support of people who know how to fight. Olympus can offer them a new safe home and the chance to use the most advanced weapons tech on Earth, including the powered combat armor known as the Landmate. And so Dionin and Briareos are drawn into the paradoxes and power struggles of Olympus. Their new job to serve and protect the people of a city whose secrets they know little about, protect them both from outsiders and from themselves. For while they may believe enough in Olympus to put their lives on the line for it, they're far too smart to be satisfied being anyone's mere pawns, even in the most noble cause. Don't Face the Apocalypse Alone, Appleseed, the 848-page 7x10 hardcover, arrives in bookstores and comic shops on August 11th and 12th, 2026 for $69.99. So it is going to be that $70 price point for this. It is a 4-in-1, and it seems like they've kind of established $70 as the regular price point for 4-in-1s, starting with Old Boy, which is out starting in January, Volume 1. And then $55 will be the new price point for the 3-in-1s, starting with this month's Lone Wolf and Cub, which the $55 price point is adopted by like all the other publishers for these types of books already, so that makes sense. Anyway, so pre-orders are available now for that first Appleseed volume at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, etc. The 3-volume series stands as a testament to Shirow Masamune's impact on comics, manga, anime, and science fiction. Stay tuned for more details on the entire set, and then it ends with some praise for Masamune and Appleseed. Now, of course, in addition to all this, Masamune's biggest work is Ghost in the Shell, and the manga, the original manga series, the trio of books, is being re-released in oversized hardcovers by Kodansha in 2026 as well. So Dark Horse did originally publish that in English, and then the license went over to Kodansha later, but you will be able to get a nice Masamune library with these 3 volumes, as well as Ghost in the Shell, all releasing this year if you happen to have not bought Ghost in the Shell yet. Now, first of all, I want to say in general, one of the most exciting things about this announcement is the fact that all of these books have been out of print and pretty damn hard to find for a while, for good prices at least. So it's really nice that they're not just like re-releasing some of these, but they're putting them all out there in such nice editions. I'm very excited about that. And when I say they've been out for a while, like the last edition that Dark Horse did for Appleseed for all 4 volumes was back in 1995. I don't know when the last printing of that edition came out. It could have been several years later, but the first printing was from 1995, March at least. Also, Eclipse was actually the first publisher. They don't exist any longer, but Eclipse was the first publisher to put out Appleseed in English starting in 1990 with Volume 191 for Volume 2 and 3, and then Dark Horse picked up the license and released the final volume in 93 before doing a full re-release of all 4 volumes in 95. So yeah, just a little background information there. So the first volume, the Appleseed Deluxe hardcover, is going to be completely comprehensive for the actual like main story of Appleseed. Everything that you need is going to be collected in that one place. So you don't need to purchase the companion if you don't want to, is what I'm putting out there. But if you are a big fan already, you're probably going to want to pick it up anyway. But I just want to put out there for new people, you don't have to. It's not going to be necessary. It does include all 4 volumes. I am thankful for that, because they could have gone and been a little rude about it and put like volume 1 through 3 in volume 1 and then do a second volume that contains volume 4 and then the extra material. So let's talk about the extra material that's going to be in the companion, because they did mention exactly what's in there, but you might not know what those books are. So first off, Appleseed ID was originally released in 1990 as Appleseed Data Book, a detailed look into the history, the people, and the technology found in the world of Appleseed. And it includes a short story called The Called Game. It was released by Dark Horse in 1995 and then re-released later in 2001 in Japan as Appleseed ID, which stands for Illustration and Data, which included additional artwork that was not in the data book. Dark Horse republished it as the expanded version, Appleseed ID, in English back in 2007, so almost 20 years ago now. So that is what we're getting there. If you happen to know about Data Book and you're wondering where that was, but you didn't know that ID is just the updated Data Book, there you go. I've given you that information. I put that out there because I didn't know that they were two different books at first, and I thought that they missed something, and then I realized, oh, I'm dumb. It's the same thing. Then Hypernotes, which was originally serialized in Comic Gaia, followed by a collected volume in 1996, consists of a 4-chapter story followed by technical information about the world, mechs, and the equipment, much like the data book. It was released by Dark Horse as part of their monthly magazine Super Manga Blast, and they were not able to release it in a collected edition at first because Masamune was not satisfied with the work, and he wanted to re-release it, fix it up before they re-released it as a complete book. Eventually, they would release Hypernotes, the paperback edition, in October of 2007, and that one has been out of print pretty much since back then as well. So that's what the companion is going to contain. Those 2 books, so a bunch of information and illustrations, as well as a couple of short stories not included in the main book. Altogether, it should be a little more than 300 pages unless they've added additional material to the companion. So I'm counting on it being a lower price point, hopefully even lower than the $55 price point for a 3-in-1, because although it is collecting 2 separate volumes that are very out of print, I think it'd be ridiculous to have that priced at $50, let alone $55. So that's the companion. Now the last one, and the one that I have to say I'm probably the most excited for, is the anthology volume, and it does collect 4 volumes of material that Dark Horse had previously released in English. And this is pretty much the rest of Masamune's work that they have released, outside of Intron Depot, which is kind of like a art book series that they did the first 4 or 5 volumes of, but they didn't continue. However, I don't know if they would be able to republish that now because it does contain artwork from Ghost in the Shell. And as I mentioned, that license moved from Dark Horse over to Kodansha a while ago, so they don't have that license anymore. They could probably figure something out. They could probably discuss with Kodansha to try and put it out if they wanted to, but I don't know. I don't know the specifics of that. I just wanted to mention it if we're trying to be completists here. If we really want to be completists, there's a lot of additional Masamune material that has not been released in English at all, and they could license those if they're interested. Anyway, anthology, the first book included is Black Magic. This is one of his earlier works from 1983. Their description, Dark Horse's description from the trade paperback, is: today the planet Venus is a literal hell of furnace-like temperatures and dense poisonous atmosphere. But millions of years in its past, Venus teemed with life and with a civilization far advanced from our own. The Nemesis supercomputer controls government functions, with bioroid executioners created to carry out the system's utopian edicts. But trouble brews even in paradise, as different executors vie for control of Nemesis, forcing the governing system to secretly create Duna Typhon, a super bioroid sleeper raised among the human populace, ready to use her awesome powers should Nemesis be co-opted to turn paradise into Paradise Lost. So that's Black Magic. That was a single volume release of Shirow Masamune's. Then Dominion. This is a 2-volume series, and they have both volumes collected here. The first volume, just titled Dominion, and the second volume, Conflict 1, No More Noise. I believe it also would collect Phantom of the Audience, which was a one-shot story related to Dominion. Because that was included with a later edition of, I think, the original volume Dominion from Dark Horse. So that should be included with this collection as well. Dominion, set in the fictional city of Newport, Japan, in a future in which bacteria as well as air pollution have become so severe that people must wear gas masks when outdoors. The series follows a police squadron that uses military-style tanks. And then, in addition to those two, the last piece of this volume is Orion. And the description of Orion from Dark Horse's release from years ago: in the mighty Yamada Empire, magic and technology are one and the same. Now the Empire is preparing its ultimate feat of psychoscience, the destruction of all the negative karma in the galaxy. But will this mystical purification be the salvation of humanity or the trigger of its ultimate destruction? Only one being can save the Empire from its folly: Susanoo, the god of destruction. Wild, arrogant, and homicidal, Susanoo has come to teach the world the true nature of power. And that one was released in 1991. I forgot to mention the dates for Dominion, but it was released in 1985 to 1986, and then the second one was 1992 to 93. So Orion was right between the two volumes of Dominion. So those 4 books are the contents of the anthology. Because it is another foreign one, I expect that this one will also have the $70 price point, which breaks down to be about $17.50 per volume, if you're looking at it that way. And don't forget to check out the sponsor for the channel, Walt's Comic Shop. If you are a collector of English language manga located in the EU, Walt's Comic Shop is a great option for you to find your books. They have a great selection of not just manga, but Western comics from places like Marvel, DC, and Image as well. They have great prices, great customer service, great shipping, and if you use the code TheOmnibusCollector at checkout, you can get free shipping on your first order within the EU of €40 or more. Again, use code TheOmnibusCollector for free shipping on your first order in the EU of €40 or more. Now back to the video. So I did say that I am most excited about the anthology volume, and the real reason there is because I have been hoping for a while that Dark Horse would release some deluxe hardcover anthologies like this for some of their other creators, including, I was hoping for this one, but the first one that ever came to mind to me was the possibility of one for Kentaro Miura, of his early works outside of Berserk, and then a second volume of his later works outside of Berserk. So a first volume including Japan and both King of Wolves, and then a second volume including Gigantomaxia as well as Duranki. But in addition to that, I think it would be really cool to see, they could do a Katsuhiro Otomo compilation including both Domu and The Legend of Mother Sarah. They could do a Osamu Tezuka compilation including Lost World, Next World, and Metropolis, possibly a compilation of Hiroaki Samura's works, creator of Blade of the Immortal, including Ohikoshi and Emerald and Other Stories. Maybe a Satoshi Kon anthology compilation with Seraphim Wings and Opus. They could even do a Kenji Tsuruya compilation of both Wandering Island and Spirit of Wonder, and maybe even a Clamp compilation. They used to have several Clamp licenses, including a couple of single volume ones, Okimono Kimono and Wish. So those are all possible like anthology volumes they could put out, and I'm excited because this one kind of, to me, it opens up the possibility of us seeing more of those in the future from other creators that they've published a lot of works from. Gotanabe, H.P. Lovecraft compilations as well, but I would count those differently since they're all together. But I'm sure we'll see more of those Lovecraft hardcovers in the future. And then also that companion is really interesting to me because they could now go back and do companion volumes to other series, such as a companion for Trigun and Trigun Maximum containing Trigun Multiple Bullets, or a companion for Berserk containing the novel, which, if they hadn't used it in volume 14 to pad that material out, they could have used the guidebook as well for a companion there, but whatever. I think it just opens up the realm of possibilities to a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm very excited to see what Dark Horse has in store for the future. Just every time they announce something, I'm always really excited because they've been on a roll of either announcing hardcovers for things that are very out of print and hard to find and need to be put back in print, such as this and Old Boy and Trigun at the time as well, or something that really deserves to be put out in this type of format because the artwork deserves to be enjoyed. Well, that pretty much applies to everything, but I love these editions, and I love that it's caught on, not just from Dark Horse, but it's evolved into something that most other publishers, at least the big ones, have started to adopt as well. Seeing things like Vagabond from Viz and Vinland Saga from Kodansha, and the upcoming like Battle Royale coming from Yen Press, but they've also been doing Nouvelle Blot. So there's a lot of really cool deluxe edition manga now that's coming out from all kinds of different publishers, and it's really Dark Horse that we have to thank. And I'm really excited about this. I'm very pumped about this release. I think this is a great way to end 2025 and show us something that they've got in the pipeline for 2026. And I am sure that this is far from the last thing we're going to be seeing from them in the near future, but we'll just buckle in and see what they've got later. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you're feeling about this one. Are you planning on picking up Appleseed? Are you a fan of Masamune's or a fan of Appleseed? And looking forward to picking this one up. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious about what everyone has to say. And as always, let me know what deluxe editions you're hoping they'll put out next. I know a lot of people's #1 choice is Gantz, so let me know what, aside from Gantz, you want to see, because I don't want my comments flooded with just Gantz. I'm joking, but really, that tends to be what happens. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for upcoming videos that I'll have in the future. If you're not new here, you know how much I enjoy spending time with you each and every video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.